Hello, my name is Mark Sandner with Konica Minolta in the Newton branch in Boston, and we were asked to discuss what we believe make up the successful first-in criteria to assist the representatives in making sure that they have a better success rate with their first-in appointments. To start is preparation. First-in appointments are all about gathering information to assist in making a successful sales call for the future. So preparation is extremely important. In the preparation work, you should be looking in your CRM system, researching the account, trying to find out the additional contacts that you could utilize if they are not in the CRM system by utilizing resources like iSell or the online and, for example, LinkedIn. One of the benefits of LinkedIn is the ability for you to utilize and search for either people up here in the top right-hand corner where you can search for people, or even companies. So for example, in this particular situation, I will type in Arnold Worldwide, which is a company that is an advertising firm. And by searching through Arnold Worldwide, we can quickly see what connections not only do you as an individual potentially have here on the right with people within the account, but we can see whether they are first degree people that we can meet with, such as Greg Folsom, Senior Vice President of IT at Arnold, or Vinnie Monahan, Director of Facilities at Arnold, and then additional second connections that we may have with the account, as well as the specifics of how many of those second degree connections we may have within the account. This is an excellent area to research or leverage relationships with either current customers or other friends or associates within the industry with an account. There's also specific information that you receive on the account as far as details of what they do and some background about the account, which can be extremely helpful in your processing of what type of questions or potential solutions, pitfalls, or issues that the account may have in the future. After you've done your preparation work, now you obviously have your scheduled appointment, is to send an outline to the customer to inform them of the items that you would like to review so that they are not only prepared as far as what kind of conversation or who should be included in that meeting, but as well as the time constraints that you're putting onto the meeting and discussionary times. Typically, a first-in appointment should last anywhere from 15 to 35 minutes. And should be an introductory appointment to discuss not only the overview of what Konica Minolta can bring to the table to assist them for future benefits, but also to gain a better understanding of their organization and the contacts that you need to be able to look for within the organization to extend your growth and create follow-up appointments. Next would be after the outline is agreed to by the customer, and we recommend that you send this outline to the customer prior to the meeting to gain their insight and input into that information. You then look at who you're going to include within our own organization, whether it be a production print specialist, an OPS specialist, a software system specialist, a wide format specialist, but also to leverage their information on what knowledge they may have as a predecessor being in this industry to what other information they could provide as far as contacts or details at the account. Now we move to the appointment itself in the discovery phase. We always recommend that you have some questions already outlined that you want to ask the customer, such as what their basic fleet or issues are that they currently have, who's the incumbent, how many pieces of equipment do they have? Are they a centralized purchasing? Do they have any billing issues? Are there problems that they currently have that they haven't been able to resolve? What do they like about their current vendor? What do they like about their current representative and what they've been able to do for them? Is there any information or technology that they're looking to add to that they haven't been brought to or has been brought to their forefront of a conversation with them with their current vendor? These conversations will incorporate, obviously, the current incumbent, what kind of problems or issues they have, any kind of money or spend that they're looking, timetable as far as decision-making process, what is the decision-making process, and who are some of the key players that you will need to be able to speak with within the organization over the time frame. Then we'll move to a summarization of the conversation. This is after you've probed and had the discussion as far as the items that are important to review. We want to summarize that conversation and schedule times to our follow-ups that are required. Again, as I stated in the beginning, a first-in appointment is mainly about fact-finding, gathering information. Once we have that information, we want to leverage our specialists and other people within our own organization to bring them into the account to be able to review those items one by one to provide a full return on investment and a solid solution proposal to them in the long haul. These will require follow-up meetings, and these follow-up meetings will be itemized in your summary of findings from your questions. Next would be to close for those individual meetings. It may be a DCA to do a data collection to gain a walkthrough and revise the data collection of the printers that they have and network devices. It could be a walkthrough of their CRD or production center to view what production equipment they may have, wide format printing needs that they may have, and then of course their IT department to have a meeting and introduce our all covered representative to discuss Citrix, SharePoint, web services, or security audits that they may or may need, or that they have project-based opportunities for the IT division of our company. As you can tell, we have a very wide scope and breadth of our organization to review with the client, and this is not something that will be easily portrayed in a very short period of time. That's why it's important to break these out as individual key areas to make sure that we're appropriately speaking to the right person within the organization to make sure that we get the full benefit of our solution and our value. As we close for the next steps, we will then obviously have our follow-up appointments, and a typical sales cycle will require anywhere from 2 to 5 appointments for us to move the sales cycle and provide a true return on investment and not just be entering into a pricing or a bidding situation, and where we are just being asked to do a like-for-like scenario based off of simple procedures or processes that a customer may have. It is these fact findings and it is these additional meetings that really pull out the additional value that Konica Minolta has to bring to the table. And if we are able to complete these additional appointments, that your closing percentages will increase, and your margins and sales revenue will also increase, and you will have a better closing percentage and a better opportunity to achieve your over 100% of plan. Thank you very much again. I appreciate your time, and I hope that you find this helpful.